takes a deep breath and forgets to exhale before she starts the video. Woo! It is, I don't even know what time, around 8 something Eastern time, and I'm barely out of bed, and I'm like, whoa! And if you think I'm glowing, I am, but it's the coconut oil. Yeah. Leaps of faith. What, they agree with me. What can I say? Just do it. So obviously I'm still here. I'm not moved yet. But I'm in like, well, I'm not in action mode because I'm barely out of bed and I haven't had a coffee. But you know what I mean? Like, I know what I'm doing without knowing anything that I'm doing. Does that make sense? It does to me. So yes, my evening after I posted my video was awesome. The first thing I did after I put my video out is I went into the corner outside. There's a little corner, and I had a cigarette and I cried my little eyes out. Because yeah, corners help me to pivot. No one puts baby in a corner. Fuck. Go in the corner. Pivot. Yeah, I just had to get out my little like, oh, poor me, I'm all alone and I have to make these choices. And after I did that, I realized like, being alone is awesome because I don't have to make choices with anybody. I can just do what me, myself, and I wants for the greater good of me, myself, and I, and my little one. So yeah, I like that feeling a lot better than the other feeling. So I'm going with it. And one of my last videos that I watched was Bridget 5 Tarot. She had a video. I don't know how I miss these things, but then again, they come up when they're needed, right? So about I forget what the title is, but she's basically like putting on hats and doing like a which should I wear hat. And that video was so awesome. I like the simple videos. Like, it doesn't always have to be about like how are we gonna change the world and all this like heavy stuff. The light videos of just people showing their scenery or their pets, or just you know, doing a quick little look at the sunshine, are, you know, the ones that get me going the most and just kind of ground me. You know, I like it. So her hat video was awesome. I felt like I was sitting on her bed. Yeah, I was cross-legged and just like kind of giggling and watching her do her stuff. And that video made me feel like I was right there. And thanks, Bridgie B. You did awesome. She did a reading for me. And yeah, I don't ask you to take it off. I ain't got nothing to hide. It validates everything, like from trigger words, keywords, sync words, that I'm going through, that past, present, and future. So I like it. I love it. I know that it's within that I make my choices. And when I ask for signs and synchronicities, well, Bridget 5 Tarot whipped it all out for me. Fucking cards were flying. And yeah, that digital book, I would not be able to handle that for a long time. Sometimes I throw my books across the room. So yeah, my device would not like that. And I would end up on some weird site or something. It doesn't matter what I'm, technology and me, like, anyways, that's for whole other stories. So yeah, when I went to bed, it was raining. I love a rainy night. It's a fucking beautiful sight. I'm not actually sure if there was thunder because I could hear it within. Makes sense? And I had the lightning. When I close my eyes and what goes on back there, I don't even need to close my eyes. It's just right before me sometimes too, but it's like, yeah, I had the thunder and lightning. Whether it was there in reality, I'm not sure. There's really nobody to ask. The kid fell asleep. Took us a while to fall asleep, actually. I almost did that let's just get up thing, and then it was like, no, just She needs to be within, I need to be within, and we just need to fall into Neverland at some point. And yeah, it didn't take that long, but it wasn't instant. But the last thing I heard before I fall asleep that I believe was real, because I heard it again this morning, was the train. I've lived here for 3 years in this vicinity. A couple more days than 3 years. 3 years and a wee bit. And although I have heard the train, I've never heard it so loud. I even heard like the choo-choo part. Well, it wasn't really choo-choo, it was like the train whistle blowing. Yeah, hear the whistle blowing. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And so that was like, I actually looked up and was like, whoa, thank you. That was a cool one. And that was the first thing I heard this morning as well. The train whistle. Pretty cool. Oh, I like it. So I have my shout out list. I also have my adult things I must do today. Oh my god. I even put XXX over it because it's like fucking so adulty that Mama's gonna deserve a break after. Whew. I have to do 4 adult things today. Yeah, might not sound like a lot to you all, but to me it's like I put it on a list in red. I must remember to put the garbage to the curb. Might not sound hard to you all, but I got a couple sisters who have said, like, I totally get it, so I know I'm not the only one. Don't forget the garbage. I have 2 bills to pay. Oh shit, I forgot to put the most important thing. 2 bills to pay, and I have to call the cable company, internet, and I must check for the hot water. That's the most important, and I forgot. Yes, the hot water is still not back today, so I'm gonna have to call the landlord and figure out where he wants me to call or what else can be done. And I'm gonna have to let somebody into my home, obviously. Shit. Hot water guy? Ooh, hot water guy. Hot water guy or girl? Ooh. You know, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just joking. And I was thinking today as I went outside, like, oh, I'm so glad nobody ever comes here where my front door is. I kind of had some issues before it snowed. And then the first snow had rain and it got icy like real fast. And you know how they say that if you're pregnant, oh my god, it's like getting hot in here. I was trying to tone it down, but I just can't. You know how they say how pregnant women shouldn't do cat litter boxes? Well, you know, I've been a pregnant woman and I totally relate with that. I couldn't even touch it, and especially when I, you know, learned after my first pregnancy, it's like the biggest thing, don't do that. But if a pregnant woman shouldn't, then really a normal woman, like without a baby in her and still the same fucking wiring, not sure. I'm not good with doing the cat litter box. I love you, cat. Here, I'm gonna shout you out. You're so damn cute. Yeah, he doesn't want to be a YouTuber. I love my cat, and I do my cat litter box. Like, I don't have a mask, but I should maybe. Maybe if I had a mask, it would be easier. So yeah, the one time, actually 2 times. I know. 2 times. I need adult supervision. Holy fuck, the 2 times that I did the cat litter, the first time I put it out by the door and then it like rained and sleeted and snowed and froze. And then you'd think I would have learned from that and not done that again, but the week after I did the same thing. So there was 2 cat litter bags. Like frozen still. Frozen to the like fucking concrete of my entrance to my house. And I'm not gonna say the rest that's there, but there's a couple little things. So it's all melting now. So some of y'all, because you have neighbors that have dogs, or because you have your own dogs, and even if you try to have control, you're gonna have what I call like spring poop soup. Spring poop soup is basically when all the fucking poop comes up that, you know, through the winter was missed. And depending on what type of, control you have over your fecal matter coming out of your animals or neighbors, it can be quite a fucking soup. And I'm hoping for some wild animal, like, just evidence, because they come around. So, yeah. Who wishes for, like, fucking bear? No, there's no bears here. Well, there's bears here, but not here. Who wishes for deer poop in their yard? I think it's good luck, but that's just me. When I was in BC, people thought I was whacked because when the eagles would be above me, I would be like, go ahead, poo on me. Like, go ahead. You know the way seagulls will? Because I thought it would be good luck. And they would be like, how could you think that's good luck? And I was like, well, it's illegal to keep an eagle feather, so I cannot wish for that. I still do. But if they're gonna, like, fucking poo on me, like, then that's fucking gotta be good luck somewhere. And yeah, that didn't happen. Who wishes for eagle poop? I don't know. Like I said, eagle feathers, not legal to keep. Yeah, how are they gonna know? Like, you're in the woods, you're on the top of a mountain, you find an eagle feather. What are you supposed to do with it? Leave it there, I guess, would be the common thing. This one time, my first time I ever went snorkeling, I found a gun. Well, we found a gun. We were together, me and my ex. Yeah. The first time I went snorkeling was in Net Lake in Temagami, and I know, you'd think I'd been snorkeling before, but the reason I had never been is I don't like masks, and I really didn't like the thing in my mouth because it reminds me of being at the dentist. But I overcame that and started to snorkel. And the first time I went snorkeling, we were going around, and at one point it was like, yeah, we should get back to the kids. We've been out here long enough. And I was like, let's go down one more time. So we did. And we were both right in front of each other because we had both come up to say, like, we should go home, but let's go down one more time. And so we both went down, like, right at the same spot. And at the same time, we spotted a gun. Yeah, I know. A fucking sawed-off fucking shotgun. Those are illegal here in Canada. So we spotted the gun. We both went for it. I forget if it was him or me that caught it first. And when we came up, it was like, holy shit, we found a gun. I know. Grabs the gun from the water and is all, like, happy thinking. But for me, it was like, Wild West, right? And it was right near the train tracks. So basically, the police already know about this story, so I'm not telling something that I shouldn't. And it was like a long time ago. So basically, we both came up, he or I forget, had the gun, sawed-off fucking shotgun. And then, we went to shore. Obviously, like, there was, because I had wished, I was like, if I'm going down one more time, can I find something really, really cool? And then I did. And so we're on shore, and we're looking at this thing, and we're like, holy fuck. And, neither of our minds goes to the fact of anything except for, whoa, let's, like, make it dry off and then put it up in the yard somewhere as, like, a decoration. Because I had my funky garden with, like, lots of decorations in it that were cool. So anyways, we get home, we put the gun aside. Obviously, there was no safety issue. It was waterlogged, it was old, but we put it aside in the shed to make sure the kids wouldn't get to it. And then, we don't really think about it in the sense of anything besides the fact that I made a wish to find something cool when we went snorkeling, and we did. And so the next day he goes to work and starts to talk about it. Fuck, he's got a big mouth. Man, fucking, they say women talk about shit. I wouldn't have not told anybody. I would have dried that fucker off and put it up as a decoration. That's just how I roll. But he started talking about it at work. So I guess he works with more adulty people who actually have, like, a mind that works in the sense of, society ways. Because the first thing his coworkers said was like, you need to call the police. You shouldn't have this. It is probably it's illegal already. It's sawed off. And, you shouldn't have that in your possession. So he was like, oh, yeah, I guess. So he actually worked right near the police station, and I don't know if he saw a police officer or called, but within about a half an hour of telling his coworkers and telling the police, he was like, he calls me at home and he's like, baby, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, the police are on their way, and I'm like, what? Why? What did you do? And he's like, well, that gun we found, I started talking about it at work, and they told me that that wasn't a good idea to keep the gun. So the police are on their way because they want to, they want our stories about how we found it. And I was like, whoa, cool. Yeah, that police officer, it was fun. So we had to tell both our stories separately to make sure that, what we both said was corroborating, like, evidence. And we found it right over a train bridge. So, train again. Ooh, train sink. Didn't even think of that. And we found it right over a train bridge. I speak so well. We found it right under a train bridge. That should have been clue number one, that, like, that's where people go to, like, dispose of evidence. Anyways, long story short, when I told my story, I was like giving coordinates with like the way that I do. It was like right under here, about here, na 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 na. And he kind of looked at me and I was like, yeah, Chris will tell you better than I would exactly, the location. And one of the questions he asked was, why didn't you think to call us? Why did you grab it? And I was like, well, because I made a wish to find something cool, and I did. So of course I grabbed it.
Boom!
And go back to bed.
No.
Okay, I'm almost done. Okay, all right. I was like, I made a wish to find something cool, and I did. So I grabbed it, and I thought it was mine. I never really thought like that it was illegal and that it was a gun. I realized it was a gun. Anyways, his questioning, and by the time he was done with me, he was like, am I gonna have trouble talking to your ex the same way to your partner the same way I had with you? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I didn't get a lot out of you, and really, next time, if ever you find something that's not legal, could you not move it? It would have been easier for us to send somebody in the water exactly where it was to look for other evidence than to, like, because you guys touched it and I was like, oh, okay. Note to self, next time I find something illegal, I will like fucking make sure I call the police right away and not think that, oh, it's mine. Yeah, so he had more luck with Chris. It was more, with me, it lasted like 20 minutes of like trying to figure out what he wanted me to say, because I don't know, I just found a gun, I picked it up. And then with Chris, it was like, okay, it's here, here, and here. So we asked, obviously, to know what happened with the investigation. And the one thing he did say is that he couldn't say what specific crime, but that there was a sawed-off shotgun in it with something that was a cold case, I guess it's called, in the area where we were, not right close, and it wasn't a murder, but that there had been a crime with a type of weapon like that back about 2-3 years before, and that finding the weapon could be a way to close the case or to find more clues, whatever. I get all serious when I talk like that because I wanted to be a private detective and a police officer when I was young, so I could speak that speak. It wasn't my path, so I'm gonna get all serious. But yeah, so we never got the full, if there was a full circle moment of anything, but it was a learning lesson. When I've just put out a wish to find something cool, when I do, I must look at the ground and say, okay, is this legal or not legal? Do I need to call the police? Could I be in trouble if I pick it up? Find a penny, pick it up, all day long you'll have good luck. Okay, I was going to my shout outs. Oh, I gotta call for the hot water. Magic Mom Ministries. She's really cool. Shouting her out. Why? Because I seen her in a comment. I'm really, I think it's important that we unite. We don't need to watch every single video. Obviously, we can't. But to see the other people that are putting messages out there, to sub them in order for them to have more numbers, is just gonna get the light elevated. Just went. I mentioned it last night really quick. I couldn't spell it because I didn't have it. So just J, I said J right. JUST space WENDT. COVIDs. I like that. Wrenchy thingy. That was awesome. Wrenchy thingy. It's how I speak. God didn't put me in the most eloquent package. You have to see through the words. Spirit voyage. Oh, I can't even read my own writing. A mystic agent. I saw a vid with her yesterday, first time ever. Don't know how many subs she has. Don't know if she even wants the 1,000 mark, but I thought her message was me in a different package. Curly hair. By package, I mean how I'm all like, fuck this, fuck that. I don't even mean to, and I have done videos. I can be like really not so like that. I don't even know why it comes out in me. It's just meant to reach a certain audience, I guess. Audience, whatever. But yeah, she really has the same type of vibe without it being the same vibe as me of the messages that she's putting out there. Roots, ROOTS. Found her, oh man, everything feels like it was so long ago, but it wasn't. And I love the way she speaks. She's so authentic. Oh my goodness. Whoa. And yeah, it's funny, how we just don't see ourselves yet to the 100% that we are already at. To what point that can be like come out at me for my own self, because I'm not speaking from, like I say, I'm on another level, because we're all there too. It's not just me. She was talking about a lady who was funny and a jester, and I was like, oh, I need to go check out that video. And yeah, because she linked it at the bottom, and it turns out it was me. So that was really neat. Yeah, I'm not going to say more about that. That was a neat shout out. Thank you. Damn, I knew I was going to say something. Yeah, and one thing I want to specify is how I speak, because it's so like, when I say, if you're doing a 3D job and you go loco, like in my video last night, I want to specify what I mean, because I speak a certain way, but it might not resonate and make you think that what I mean. What I mean by 3D job is if you're doing something that you don't like, that you wish you weren't there, that you are like going against the grain. Signs are telling you your car's fucking up, you're just, as soon as you're going against what your heart, soul, or even mind is starting to tell you, that's what I consider a 3D job. Okay? Because everything didn't change overnight. Every job that it was out there yesterday is still out there today, and as far as I know, will be out there until we've, figured out other stuff. So we all have different paths. Like all of us. If everybody quit their job tomorrow, we wouldn't be rolling as a society. So I might not say it properly when I say 3D job, but what I mean is there's those of us who are guided to follow a different track, soar a different way, find another choo-choo train to fucking be boarded on, and like fucking like, I don't want to be on the train. I'd be on top of the train, like in a movie. But you know what I mean, I think. Whereas there's other people who, you might have to adjust your 3D job. Like maybe you've never asked for the role that you actually want, and you need to get higher up or lower down in a company, you know what I mean? Or Shell has perfect video of this. I forget the name of it, and it was forget even the timeline of it, but where she speaks about like people who work at Walmart and to go into Walmart as a customer and enjoy it for the people as the family unit they are, and how I think she had said she worked there in the past, and or might still, I don't know, no, not still, but because she's on the road she does stuff, but how like when I do go into stores, I go there for the people that are in it. And that's why when I said my self checkout thing, I like going to a cashier to see a human to like encourage them, because the less that more people choose self checkout, the less cashiers have jobs. In the long run, might it be a society that has way more self checkouts because people don't want to be cashiers? Yes, completely. I resonate with that theory. I'm not sure if that's Elon Musk or whatever it is, but of that a lot of things are going to be like automated so that people don't do a job they don't like doing, not so that we push people out. I see society as becoming what that the jobs that need to be phased out because they don't actually exist and they're not needed, that a lot of them just won't exist, but that yes, things would be automated, but it wouldn't be taking a job away from somebody. So if you're watching me and you got to go pump gas or go to or you work at Walmart, or you're an executive or whatever you are, and you're thinking like I'm judging you, or thinking that you have to stop your 3D job because I had to and other light workers have to, that's not it. There's the different paths of light workers where you go lococo and enjoy your job if that's the path that you're supposed to be on. And that's where discernment comes in when you're listening to someone, anybody, talk about anything. To get a yucky feeling inside thinking that, somebody's talking to you, if that's not your path, and start to make you doubt or wonder, then that's where either listening to too many videos is like good for you because you need to learn your discernment, but we all speak differently. The package that I have and how I speak now is a little bit to fan the flames under people, is to if you're somebody who doesn't like people swearing and you're guided to listen to me, you're either gonna like shut me off or start to see that I am still a light worker, I'm still light, but I got a potty mouth. You know what I mean? A lot of the things that I am guided to say and speak of and do in my everyday real life is to make people fall into judgment. Not consciously, like, do I want to like say this? And no, but it's how I speak or what I'm guided to say, and it's for people to overcome certain things. The whole like what bodies look like, people are put, our soul is our soul. Anybody who's watching me right now and actually sees my soul, like, thank you. If you're watching me and seeing just the package, like, holy fuck, like, it's not about that. That's why I love Deadpool so much, and that's why I never understood in the movie he never gave her a chance. Like, he never went to see her once after he got burned, and what he turned into, because I personally in my life, my grandfather and my father were burn survivors. So when I watched Deadpool, like, I was screaming at that motherfucker and I was mad at him. Like, I was like, yes, I laughed throughout the whole movie, but I was pissed at him. He didn't even give her one fucking chance. Not even one, before he like thought that she wouldn't like think he was fucking hot and think he was fucking perfect. Cuz he never changed. That was just his package. And in both my father and my grandfather's burn stories, their faces weren't affected, but their bodies were a lot. I grew up in my young youth, because when you go to the hospital, you see other burn victims of what a package is, just a package, and when that package gets hurt, the person underneath is still the same, and it wouldn't have mattered if my daddy did come out looking like Deadpool. He was still my daddy. And like I said, I was pissed that he never gave her one chance, like even one. Like she wasn't no fucking like in Jerry Maguire. She wasn't like the fucking climber chick, like where as soon as Jerry Maguire like fucking put out his mandate statement, mission statement, whatever, that she fucking saw what was going on and dropped him like a hot potato. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, fucking Jerry Maguire, man. Like, my fucking mission statements get put out there and are like, get it or don't. Hop in now or hop in later. Don't hop in at all and fucking go find the people that resonate with you. Like, that's it. Anyways, oh my God, that was long. Now I have no energy. Just joking. But now I'm going to get a coffee.